money on my mind, and I can't fall short. Always keep it thousand, slow mo. Say I'm hustling and I'm grinding. I'm making moves with my money on my mind, and I can't fall short. Always keep it thousand, slow mo.
Welcome to the Cherise the Realist Show.
Who they think they better than? Ain't no comparison to the so-called black or African American. You can drop the African, keep the American. When we say Aborigine and make their world in, I'm going in the same dirt my ancestors buried in. I come from a god and a goddess, so what that make me? Not even Basquiat can trace me. Not even Van Gogh can paint me. The MC in me is the God MC, equals the God in me. I'm focused in, let my mind be free. You too blind to see. The Jews I give is real, it's been real. These ain't shots, they missiles. All you gonna hear is the whistle. Lyrically, this an execution. My verses start revolutions for my people seeking restitution. Since the beginning, fuck evolution. Or maybe my reality is all a dream. I put it together like I was sewing seams. So it seems this is that audio dopamine. Go against the regime, we put you where nobody can hear you scream. And send you to meet your Elohim. My nigga, this is savage mode. It's something that you can't decode. It started with a spark and I'ma let it explode. I was given the cheat codes that'll let me dump and reload and go through them waves like a fucking torpedo. You dealt the cards of life, I just cut them diamonds with the ace of spades. Y'all scattered scatter like roaches when they facing raid, or vampires when they facing blade. I'm trying to get next to Shireen like I'm getting played. You still stuck as a mental slave. You still stuck in that mental cage. While I'm making easy money, pipping hoes in style. This my coming to age. Crowd roaring when I'm coming on stage. And when I'm done, they gonna be cheering my name. Drake Cobbs, and nah, I ain't quit my day job. I spit bars. I really rap on my day off. That's real shit. Just give you some tools you can build with. Aim high even if you still miss. Just keep going. It's a climb to the top. And I'ma keep flowing. Down Lake Shore, I'm Chicagoan. Yeah. You niggas is playing checkers, we playing chess. And nigga, this is checkmate. Dre be the big dog and you just a little bait. You out of Africa and we ain't got the same traits. I'm a God being and we ain't got the same fate. My granny died February 18th and I was born on the same date. The chosen one, the ancestors' chosen son. They gave me the golden gun. One shot, that's a hole in one. From the pyramid of the sun to Poverty Point. I don't think you niggas is getting the point. We still here. Who said they made the Aboriginals disappear? Your information's lagging in the rear. All you do is teach fear. We copper-colored with woolly hair. Am I speaking clear? So fuck the nonsense. When I rap, I touch your consciousness. From within is where you get your self-confidence. Let's bring it back to dominance. Ain't no confining us. Gonna bring that wild Indian out of us. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We still here.
Yes, Grand Rising family, peace and love to all the Aboriginal Indigenous Indians. So y'all, today I'm just going to be doing like a little something slight. I want to cover a little bit of the things that's been going on within the election, and just some other things going on as well, because we know Donald Trump is being inaugurated this morning in my home city of Washington, D.C. And I want to show a little bit of coverage of that, but also I want to start with Snoop Dogg, because I didn't even know that when people, I didn't even know that he had made these comments, Snoop Dogg. All right, hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second so I can get it ready so I can share it, because I just shared it to myself. But I find it easy. I mean, I find it interesting, you know, his change of heart. I found that very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because I didn't even know he was spewing this rhetoric. Hold up, y'all. And then years later, you're turning around and you're performing. I mean, you know, poor Chrisette Michelle. Hold up. Because we need to go over that too, because this woman just sang, trying to get her coins, and it was a problem. Everyone canceled her. But when it comes down to a man and what he does, no one's canceling Snoop Dogg. So I'm so confused here as to why her performing was such a huge issue.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for himself.
So that is Snoop Dogg back in 2017, before Trump's first inauguration. Here's Snoop last night. He performed at the inauguration weekend for Donald J. Trump. Someone snapped a pic and put it on Twitter as well. Rick Ross also performed.
My mother say, Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito's needle. What's going on?
So I just want to know, family in the chat, if y'all listening, where's the change of heart? Hold on, let's go back to what Snoop Dogg said.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for himself.
So that's you now.
Back in 2017, before Trump's first inauguration. Here's Snoop last night.
Hey, Snoop Dogg. Hold on.
He performed at the Crypto Ball as part of inauguration weekend for Donald J. Trump. Someone snapped a pic and put it on Twitter as well. Rick Ross also performed.
My mother say, Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito's needle. What's going down? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Bang, bang.
Snoop did.
You ain't shit, Snoop. Because they gave this girl all of this backlash. Oh my God.
She lost fans, she lost followers, she even lost a potential gig with filmmaker Spike Lee. When the news broke, Spike Lee posted on Instagram, I was thinking about using Chrisette's song Black Girl Magic in my Netflix series, She's Gotta Have It, Not Anymore. Then you have Questlove weighing in, of course, the Roots drummer and the Tonight Show band leader tweeting, I'd pay Chrisette to not perform. Chrisette Michele is with me now. She just released her latest single, a spoken word track called No Political Genius. It is a direct response to the inauguration uproar. It is such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's back up.
Yeah.
Why did you say, yes, I'll perform?
I said we have to be seen. Somebody's got to see us. The Democrats aren't even coming. I've got to be one and I've got to be there. They've got to hear from us. They got to see what we look like, see what we think like, and see what we think. Because I was watching TV saying, I know he ain't talking to me.
You didn't get a chance to talk to him.
I got a chance to talk to the entire country, and I think he might be watching.
You know who else might be watching is Spike Lee. I want you first to just address Spike Lee and Questlove because of what they said in response to you performing. What would you say to them?
This girl, you got this girl all over CNN, all over all of these jokes, explaining herself. And then we got
Didn't post anything.
we got this.
For Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for himself.
So that is Snoop Dogg back in 2017 before Trump's first inauguration. Here's Snoop last night. He performed at the Crypto Ball as part of inauguration weekend for Donald J. Trump. Someone snapped a pic and put it on Twitter as well. Rick Ross also performed.
I'm very annoyed. All right, let's go to this. Shout out to Willie D Live and their channel over there. I was looking for some specific commentary though. Not his. It was something that I had saw. Let me go back, y'all. Hold up. I'll go back to Chrisette Michele in the meantime. Oh, here it is. Let's go here.
Now, this time it actually concerns Trump's relationship with Snoop Dogg, who took part in attempting to convince Trump to grant one of his former music industry friends a pardon. That is.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Until Trump found out or was reminded to grant one freedom. Now, this time it actually concerns Trump's relationship with Snoop Dogg, who took part in attempting to convince Trump to grant one of his former music industry friends a pardon. That is until Trump found out or was reminded of the fact that Snoop Dogg said some mean things about him previously. Now, in late 2020 and early 2021, Snoop Dogg secretly worked to influence the White House on executive clemency for federal prisoners, including death row records figure Michael Harry O. Harris. Now, the 59-year-old Harris was serving 40 years behind bars for attempted murder and drug trafficking related to cocaine. Harris was
so he up there shucking and jiving for this. To me, that's what it sounds like, family. It sounds like he's up there. I wouldn't even call it shucking and jiving because I don't have a problem with Trump. And I don't have a problem with Trump being president. Okay. But this is interesting that he did all that and had all that mouth. And then here you are 4 years later. What?
Convicted back in 1988 of the attempted murder of an Illinois police officer in October of 1987. The filing stated the officer was shot in the face, hit on the head, and robbed at gunpoint of her shoulder bag, 2 rings, and her badge. The victim later identified Harris from the lineup as the person who attacked her. But Harris was released from state custody in 2011 after the police like recanted, and the attempted murder charges were dropped. Okay. So Harris was then transferred to a federal prison to begin serving a nearly 20-year sentence for the cocaine drug trafficking. He wasn't slated to be released until 2028. By all accounts, Snoop Dogg's efforts in DC had been pretty successful, and Trump was in fact planning to pardon Harris upon leaving office. But on January 18th of 2021, the same reporter who put out this Rolling Stone piece published a piece in the Daily Beast about how Snoop's behind the scenes efforts, wrote about his efforts to free Harris. And in that very article, there was a reminder of some of the things that Snoop Dogg had said about Donald Trump previously. And
and that's the thing, because it's like people have all this. I think Snoop Dogg personally was just hopping on the hate train with everybody else. He was trying not to lose supporters probably, or something that would make him, be secretly working with the Trump administration, trying to get his folks off. And this year, he down here having a dance party with Beyonce. It's like, nah. But seriously, it's outrageous. You know what I'm saying? That people always go back on their word. They always go back on the things that they say. People don't mean what they say they mean, bro. And Snoop Dogg is a well-respected rapper. I've always wondered how, he managed to survive all of these years out of everybody else. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I would love to do a deep dive into Death Row Records, okay? And the nonsense that was going on over there at Death Row. Anywho, what is amazing to me is that what people don't realize is that Donald Trump have a lot of collections. I have a lot of connections with celebrities, people with big names. He's been in this celebrity realm for decades. I think Donald Trump has always been famous. He's always been popular amongst Black people. I think now when he became president, or started to put his bid out there for president, I don't know what happened in the court of public opinion. I don't know what switched, but people loved Donald Trump. That's why I'm so confused. I don't know why they're mad at Nelly. At least I think that to be invited to inauguration or to be invited to perform, period, whichever president it is an honor. And it's crazy how, we pick and choose who we want to shame. Like but they literally punished Chrisette Michele, canceled her, no career. She really hasn't even been able to. This happened 7-8 years ago, and she still ain't been able to get back. So it just goes to show that we have selective outrage, and we choose, we pick and choose what we're going to kirk out about. And honestly, I'm tired of it. It's nonsense. Stop picking and choosing and be 100 across the board. And that's to everybody, because like I said, in the court of public opinion, if you don't make it through that, honey, you're pretty much a shit show. It's pretty much, that's it. That's why they destroyed that woman instead of destroying Snoop Dogg, because I don't understand why Snoop Dogg ain't being destroyed. That's the shit I don't understand. And whole time he was in the background working with Trump, trying to get his peoples free. And a lot of people do that. You have to work with the president. The president can grant the clemency. That's why I told people, instead of being against Trump, you probably should be with him, because a lot of things that we want to get changed, especially on the front of incarceration and mass incarceration and all of these things, it's levels. It's levels to everything. And it's not like you're going to say something about it and then it's going to happen. No, it's levels. It's levels to this. So let's finish listening to what the all of this shit with Snoop Dogg, because I just thought it was so funny. I just thought it was funny. Hold on, let's show that one more time. Calling people Uncle Toms and shucking and jiving, child. And look at him.
Nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, right?
Not the president.
Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it. I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out of one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I was the one that performs for himself.
So that is Snoop Dogg back in 2017, before Trump's first inauguration. Here's Snoop last night. He performed at the Crypto Ball as part of inauguration weekend for Donald J. Trump. Someone snapped a pic and put it on Twitter as well. Rick Ross also performed.
My mother say, Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito's needle. What's going down? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Bang, bang.
Snoop didn't post anything about the event on Twitter. On Instagram, he loves Instagram. He has posted 15 times today. 15 times today. Nothing about the event last night.
You know why he ain't posted about that event? Because he was going to get dragged by all of the Democratic black people. He was going to get dragged and he knew it.
He was not a fan of Trump previously. He was, well, I'll give you an example. So in 2017, Snoop Dogg released a music video for his song Lavender. And in that music video, there's a shot where he aims and fires a gun at a clown resembling Donald Trump. I mean, you guys can judge for yourselves.
Oh, man,
obviously, that character resembles Donald Trump. And understandably, Trump didn't like that. And the two ended up firing insults back and forth, with Snoop Dogg saying anyone that liked him was a racist. Wow. Now, that's what happened previously. Apparently, Trump had forgotten about it.
Dang.
Until Rolling Stone had reminded him in a piece that they had published about Snoop Dogg attempting to get his friend freed. So in response to that, Trump said, well, F him. Trump moaned about Snoop Dogg. Suddenly, Trump didn't feel the rapper deserved an act of kindness or mercy. The clemency paperwork for Harris had already been drafted, and his name was on the roster of expected pardons and commutations that the White House planned to announce the day of Biden's inauguration. On January 18th of 2021, Trump instructed aides to remove Harris's name from the list and to junk his paperwork in order to punish Snoop Dogg, two former administration officials, and other sources familiar with the matter say. So I'm going to pause here, Cenk, because it's just amazing to me how, look, politics is transactional overall. Everything is transactional in politics. I know that. I've come to accept that. It is what it is. But it's usually.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that statement when she's saying that it's transactional, because it's obvious that whoever it was that got granted the clemency or whatever, here we are 4 years later, he's back in now. And here we go. We got Snoop Dogg, performing at the inauguration after previously talking shit. And that's because when you need somebody to do something for you, your ass have been down. You'll bow down. Y'all will bow down if you really, yeah. When your back is against that wall, you'll do a lot of things that you wouldn't expect yourself to do. So I just think, I don't know, there's a little hypocrisy here on Snoop Dogg's end. I don't know what y'all think about it in the chat, but that is completely my opinion, that there is obviously some type of disconnect here when it comes down to his fan base and his actual political views. Because I believe a lot of people on the low supported Trump this election season. And then they're just scared to be out and talk about it because they know that in the court of public opinion, they're going to get crucified. And people got to stop being scared, because it don't matter. It's not going to change your vote. It's not going to change your opinion. You're still going to have a way you feel about any type of situation or scenario that come about. But American Warrior, I agree with this. Now that Trump is president, it's time to perfect. It's the perfect time to make our move to let motherfuckers know we're the only Americans. I love that. Absolutely. And that's why they asked that question last night. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show a little bit of coverage of the inauguration in a minute, y'all. But see, when I was on Smoke Panel last night for a little bit, I only stayed up there for an hour, y'all. I love Smoke, but I can't do that for too long. But anywho, I was over there on Smoke Channel, and I think it was, who was it? I think it was Brother Wolf, y'all. And he had posed a question asking, did we think that Trump, with him being the incoming president, do we believe, as as so-called black people or what have you, the true Americans, do we think that Donald Trump would do anything specifically for black people? Now, my answer to that was that I think it's about how we put the issue out there. Because yes, we know that there's things that got to be remedied, and we know there's things that got to be fixed. But it's like we have to be clear and concise in what we want from this government and what we need to change and how we're going to go about that. Because I don't think that Donald Trump will have an issue with sitting down with the right representation from our group. And what I mean by the right representation, family, is just people who are well-spoken, who can articulate what we need, that can write it down word for word, document for document, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, and getting that shit on his desk or whoever's desk. I think it's about us being, like I said once before, just being clear, because we say all of this stuff, we talk about all of this stuff, but I don't think it's clear what it is that we actually want and what it is that we actually need. And how do we get to that point? Because what I see is every other group. And when I say every other group, I'm talking about Chinese people. I'm talking about, Asians. I'm talking about Africans. I'm talking about every other group, white folks, whoever, you know what I'm saying? East Indians, everyone, right? When we're talking about how these other groups go about getting things done, like with the Chinese people and with the affirmative action, they got on top of it. They ain't like what was happening, and they got on top of it. And that's what I mean, because it does not take 50, 60, 70 people. It just takes about a good 20 people that understands what's happening here, someone that we've elected, people that we've elected to represent us, and that we can get this message out here. Because I do think that this is the time now where we do want something done, especially for the plight of being Aboriginal to the land. I think this is the time to really do it. Yeah. Someone sent that to me. Someone sent that to me in my inbox on, let me check. I believe that was my inbox on Instagram, y'all. Yes, hold on. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna forward it. I'm gonna copy it to myself, y'all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna forward it to my email and I'll play that next. Yes, someone did. Shout out to Copper Goddess, because she's the one who actually put it in there for me. Because I know how I be always forgetting, not really forgetting, but sometimes like I be trying to keep up with everything, y'all, and I don't always keep up with everything like I'm supposed to. But yes, anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Gigi? Hey, Jeremy Royster, American Warrior, Ray Sunfire, Original Skywalker. Hey, y'all. George Richard, Akamak, Michael Akamak Hurst. The Enemy's Public with Brother Nasir. Hey, family. Focus Mind, engine number 9. Hey, y'all. Shout out to y'all. Thank you guys for coming in the chat. I appreciate it. I'm just doing a little coverage. I ain't doing too much, y'all. I'm not here to hold y'all all day and all night. I'm just here to give my opinions on some things. Y'all see the title. Y'all know what time it is, okay? But yeah, I'm going to play that in a minute. Right after we finish with Snoop Dogg and his nonsense. Because, like I said, I'm not mad at him for supporting Trump. I'm not mad at him for getting money. I ain't mad at him, Soulja Boy, none of them. It's been a rough 4 years under this last administration. And I do think that if you support Trump and you don't got a problem with the way he going to do things or his policies, then I just think it's time to be open and stop hiding in the fucking shadows. Because that's what's happening here.
Really transactional in a power play. Like if I vote for this proposal, then you are going to give me the pork that I'm asking for my state. It's usually transactional in that way. In this case, it's transactional in the form of hurt feelings, which is amazing. So In the end, Snoop Dogg ended up winning, and I'll tell you how. But first, I'm curious what you think, Jay.
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised by it. Trump has done much worse when somebody said mean or nice things about him. Remember when Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, said some things that were a little bit threatening, and Trump said, "Oh, hey, little rocket man, watch out, my button is bigger than yours," and threatened him. And then Kim Jong-un then said nice things about Donald Trump while having the same exact policy, while still building nuclear weapons. And the minute he said nice things, Trump forgot that he was building nuclear weapons and didn't care. He's like, "Oh, he likes me. I like anyone who likes me." Little child that he is. So since the North Korean communist dictator gave him a pat on the head, the little child, whether president, even though I know you're innocent.
Sorry. Oh no, he talking shit. Hold up, y'all. Because there was another one I want to show too with Snoop Dogg. I'm not done with Snoop Dogg ass yet.
La presidenta de Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum. Recently, la presidenta de Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, signed 2 edicts into law, which are breathtaking to say the least. What she did and what she signed into the Mexican Constitution are 2 parts. The first part was that the indigenous people within Mexico of many different tribes will now have the ability to have their own sovereign nations. Now, bear with me here. So basically, a commission is set up to recognize those indigenous nations within Mexico and teach them and show them how they can rule autonomously and set up their own rulership over their own people, because there's a lot of indigenous different tribes within Mexico. The second part of that edict that was signed into the Mexican Constitution recognizes, and hear me out here, Afro-Indigenous. So, and that basically states that written into the Mexican Constitution, it is now law that the Afro-Indigenous are recognized as full citizens of Mexico and are afforded their indigenous status. And then she went on to state that Mexico recognizes that Afro-Indigenous people were on this continent hundreds of years before the Spaniards stepped 1 foot on the soil. It completely changes the narrative of what we've been taught. It completely changes the idea that Columbus was here and there's just Mexicans. It flips it right on its head. Everything is out the door.
But who is a Mexican? Who is a Mexican? Because I think people don't understand race, ethnicity, and nationality. And I feel like I'm gonna have to go back over that again, because you could be black and be a Mexican. Okay? You could be so-called black and be a pure Mexican through and through. I don't understand why we let things like skin color deviate us from who we are. I don't give a damn if you was white as snow and black as tar. Come on now. We got to stop this. It's such a sickening I think people think that your skin color equates to where you're from. I feel like I hear this throughout the community a lot. I feel like I hear this throughout anyone's talking points and conversations, and they really don't think about what they're saying. It's, oh, everyone's from Africa. Everyone is. Says who? Africa is way across, thousands of miles away. Why would they need to leave out of Africa and come to America and build America? Why is it so impossible to believe that there was people that were melanated in the Western Hemisphere without a slave assistance, without a slave trade assistance. I don't understand why this is so mind-boggling for people to understand. Because I heard the dude Sean P last night saying we wasn't originally here. We wasn't originally here. Yes, we were. How could you possibly think that they had the manpower to beat you the fuck up, take all your folks, all your peoples, your cousins, aunties, dad, whoever, and throw them at the bottom of the boat and ship them somewhere they never been just to enslave them? So that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got to make sense of stuff. Like, you just because you read it in a book, that doesn't make it valid. Because when people write, they write from their perspective all the time. Come on now. Like, we got to stop being so, like, we got to stop thinking so surface, like, so shit. We have to stop thinking on a surface level. That's what I'm trying to say. Our thinking is only one way. And that's the thinking that we got to stop. Yeah, but this Afro stuff, that's the problem, because it's been embedded and intertwined with our history and who we are. They're like, yeah, because the slave trade happened. Never told you no names, no nothing. Just gave you a bunch of numbers and said, this is what it is. They've never, ever verified, or for that matter, this has never really truly been validated or verified at any capacity, proven nothing. And all we hear is them just trying to stick us in Africa. It's, man, yeah.
This is a very intelligent woman. And what she has stated are what people on different social media platforms have been saying for years. Black man was already here. The black man was already here. We didn't come in slave ships. That's not feasible. It would have taken too many ships. They would lose too many people.
Exactly. It's not feasible.
But
it's not feasible. But somehow everybody wants to believe that this thing was so feasible to happen. Y'all believe that these people just had some superpowers. They just, they knew where they was going. Like they had the bombest fucking compasses and technology. Come on, bro. Y'all got to get it together. And stop being upset at the Aboriginal community for pointing it out.
Taken from Mexico and South America and taken off the coast and sat off the coast for a couple months and then brought up and dropped off in Boston, that makes it a hell of a lot more feasible, doesn't it? Afro-Indigenous were here hundreds of years before the Spaniards showed up. I'll put this into perspective. The English Bible, the most widely sold book in history, the Bible, New Testament, Old Testament, you can go back in that Bible to the beginning of time of man. Adam, Eve, his wife, conceived from the rib of Adam, and the Creator took that rib. Their children, Cain and Abel, and how that conflict and one brother slew the other. The creation of the earth, the waters, the fish in the deep, the firmament. Okay, enough Bible lesson for today. But yet we can't go back before Columbus. What was the black man's history? How did he get here? The Phoenician? The Israelite?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
To be indigenous or African or anything other than white is inherently inferior.
Okay, so let's go back to Snoop Dogg. I just wanted to throw that in there since American Warrior. I think that was you, American Warrior, who brought it up in the chat, or someone brought it up, Original Skywalker or somebody, but shout out to y'all. Yeah, I was already hip to what the president of Mexico has decided to do. However, I just hate that they're using Afro. That's the only thing, because once again, it's still not, when you say Afro or African, it's not connecting us to our true land. It's removing that community attachment to America, and then they're moving it to Africa. I don't know why they're equating melanated people to being African. This is really this is some sick work that's happened.
Culture check. Did anybody have Snoop performing at Trump's inauguration on their bingo card at all? Because I'm extremely confused about that. Like, I know Trump is like a walking, I'll promote your shit type, guy, but damn, really? What are we promoting? Like, Snoop, what are you selling? What are you saying? Like, why you even got to be there? Why you got to perform? Like, dude, come on. Are you kidding me? Like, Nelly, I mean, that don't really rock me. Lil Wayne absolutely could see that shit. The Baby, not really. Kanye absolutely expected his MAGA wearing ass to be there. Soulja Boy, he's always about capitalism and money. But Snoop, though? Really?
His money?
Really? What?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about the black liberals melting down, losing their minds over the fact that Snoop Dogg, Soulja Boy, Rick Ross, Nelly, and other rappers have decided that, you know what? We're going to perform at Trump's inauguration. Okay. I mean, this started when I did the story about the HBCU band that got invited to perform at Trump's inauguration. All of the woke revolutionaries started boohoo, whining, crying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go. Right. And now you have essentially everybody coming out. A lot of these celebrities, these rappers and stuff, they're coming out and they're now saying that, hey, we're going to perform at Trump's inauguration. Now, the reason why the Snoop Dogg story is so funny to me is because Snoop, as we all know, was a huge Trump hater. Okay. And we're finding out exactly why. Okay. Like a lot of these celebrities, they don't have any real principles. Okay. They are just told that this is who you can support. This is who you can like, and this is who you can't like. Right. And then once the tide turns, okay, AKA the money interest, starting to realize that, all right, hating Trump isn't really profitable anymore, right? Like that's not the move. Yeah, they flip on a dime, okay? That's because a lot of these celebrities are puppets, okay? So with that being said, we're going to cover the black liberal meltdown over what's happening because it's just hilarious to watch these people boohoo, whine, and cry. But I just want to say wholeheartedly, okay, before we get into this video, F Snoop Dogg, right? F Snoop Dogg, okay? Just because the black liberals are melting down, that does not mean that me personally, I have forgiven Snoop Dogg for smearing all the black people, all black Trump supporters as sellouts and racial slurs for supporting Trump, okay? Because Snoop Dogg, just like a lot of these rappers, was supporting Trump when it was cool, before he ran for president, when it was acceptable. And then all of a sudden, when he ran for president, they came out and they started hating Trump, especially Snoop. He was a huge Trump hater. And now all of a sudden, they're on the Trump train because, again, it's cool to like Trump.
Go out there and do a country song. So ain't nobody going to perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you ass going to be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm going to roast the out one of you ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I'll be the one that performs for himself.
A few moments later.
My mother. Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito's needle. What's going down? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Bang, bang.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Now, lo and behold, now that the tides have turned, look at Snoop Dogg tap dancing, right? Now, we're not going to play the sound because I don't want to get hit with a copyright because of the music. But yeah, this is Snoop Dogg tap dancing. Now, again, just a few years ago, Snoop Dogg would call a black person performing for Trump all types of racial slurs, okay? Making fun of him. But look at him. Look at what he's doing right now, right? Look at what he's doing. It's amazing what money will make up do. You got Soulja Boy here, right? He's performing, okay? Doing the crank that.
And see, here's the thing. I'm not even mad at none of these folks for doing what they do. It's just, it's weird that you want to backpedal now.
They get lit, they turn it up. Liberals hate to see it. They hate to see it. Then you got Rick Ross, right? Ricky Rose performing as well too. So yeah, as you can imagine, black liberals, they're currently not taking this too well.
Our token black men are as follows: Ray J, Soulja Boy, Nelly, Rick Ross, and Snoop Dogg. Y'all all bent over and took it from the back from Trump and his white racist people. Y'all are a disappointment and a disgrace to the black community. Soulja Boy, I can see why he did it. He broke. He ain't got nothing going on with his life. But Rick Ross, you got money. Snoop, you got money. Really think y'all have really separated yourself from the black people that actually support y'all. Because what Trump and the Heritage Foundation is going to do to black people in America is erase us. And you shuck and you jive for them white folks. Snoop, what the happened to you? I can remember when you would never let a white man even talk to you crazy, let alone try to bribe you. That one hurt the most. But like I kept saying, you only black until you reach a certain amount of money and you forget you black, like Lil Wayne. While the black people that support y'all are the ones that's really gonna suffer. Y'all fucking disgrace.
Nelly and Snoop Dogg have been confirmed to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration. Nelly and Snoop Dogg. When I tell you guys I am not ready for the next 4 years to happen, Trump is not even in office and it feels like he's been president for 2 years already. In addition to them, Kodak Black, Antonio Brown, and Rod Wave are Trump's guests. At the inauguration. What the fuck is going on? First Lady Elon Musk is moving into the White House. Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Carrie Underwood are performing at the inauguration. Mark Zuckerberg is out here cosplaying a 16-year-old black kid from Harlem with his chain and his afro. The CEO of TikTok is now chummy and on the billionaire, looks like he's in the billionaire syndicate of evil people. Snoop Dogg and Nelly are performing at the fucking inauguration. I'm tired.
I cannot be the only one that's tired of this, man. This is for all my women of color. This is for the men of color that supports us and supports us as a people, not the backpedalers. We tired of y'all playing in our face. And I'm not even talking about the other performers. I'm talking about the black performers. I'm calling all y'all out, especially Snoop Dogg, who been here on Beyonce's internet since 2016, straight giving it to Donald Trump. Saying all this stuff. Donald Trump ain't for us. He pretended he was for us. Then he switched it up when he got himself in a position. You are tone deaf like a motherfucker. I don't want you to come and backpedal upon nobody's internet saying, I was just performing at a thing. You shouldn't have been in Washington near his president, this man being sworn into being a president at all. Okay? Period, point blank. You knew this was a bad look and you didn't give a fuck about us, okay? And at the end of the day, it seems when it comes to your cash and maybe possibly a case, because who knows, they might be trying to diddy bop you in a corner for some stuff you done did, okay? You will throw us into the eternal fires, and I mean us as a people, into the eternal fires. You've very much given Jesse Jackson up on that balcony at the Lorraine Motel back on April 4th, 1968, because we all done heard about how Jesse got down with MLK on the back end. But I ain't gonna go get too deep with y'all right now. Okay. All I'm saying is that you, the other performers, because there's a list of them, all y'all wrong, but especially you. Especially, I'm holding you accountable. You and Rick Ross are the ones that are most accountable, because out of all the ones that are performing, including Nelly, y'all two got the most money.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Clearly, these people are having a very hard time processing the reality that the tides have turned. Okay, that's what this is about more than anything, because the left, they tried to use social stigmas in order to accumulate power and control. Okay, they try to say, well, it's not cool, it's not okay for you to support somebody like Trump. So they say, you know what, we're going to cancel you over it in order to control how people think and who they're able to openly support. Okay. That's what they do. It's the oldest trick in the book. That trick is not working anymore, right? They tried it this holiday season when they were telling people.
Yeah, the switch up is insane, but I'm here for it. I mean, I'm here for it. It is what it is. I don't know what y'all mad for. I don't know what y'all mad for. Y'all need to stop shaming people for their decisions. You don't gotta fucking like it.
Hey, don't eat Thanksgiving with your Trump supporting uncle, right? Or Christmas dinner. No. You should disown them, right? Disown your family members over politics. Now, obviously that didn't work. Okay. So now again, they're pissed off, they're mad because all these rappers performing, all of these celebrities now coming out and openly supporting Trump. It shows that from a social perspective, like this is actually the cool thing to do, right? Like this is the wave, right? This is the new culture, okay, that has been ushered in. And that's what they can't stand the most. So this is why you get meltdowns, like meltdowns that are currently happening on TikTok, which may or may not be banned in a few days, but CNN will still be on air.
I think.
But as
what would you say? I mean, if Snoop were sitting right here at this table, what would you tell him?
Maybe not for that much longer. Who knows?
Disagreeing with Snoop, I think.
I mean, if Snoop were sitting right here at this table, what would you tell him?
Well, I had a disagreement with Snoop, I think, a year or two ago. Something he endorsed Rick Caruso.
Did you tell him?
He was supporting Rick Caruso, for mayor of Los Angeles, who I disagree with. And I stated that publicly as well. But
yeah, it really goes to show you how credible this guy is, especially in the wake of these wildfires that have happened in LA recently. Okay, everybody's against Karen Bass, and this man is so dumb that he went on national television to say, oh, well, I thought that Rick Caruso was the wrong choice. Okay. And he's basically saying that Snoop Dogg made the wrong choice of supporting Rick Caruso, when clearly the wrong choice was Karen Bass, who this man definitely supported. Yeah, there's a stiff competition for dumber than all of them. And this brings me to one of the longest held beliefs I've had about how to accurately measure somebody's intelligence, right? I think the most intelligent people in the world understand how intelligent they are, right? I believe that you're probably smarter than the average person if you understand that, hey, I'm of average intelligence, right? I know I'm of average intelligence, okay? That probably makes you pretty smart, right? That makes you smarter than most people, okay? Even if you have below average intelligence, if you know that you have below average intelligence, that makes you more intelligent than the average person, okay? Because the average person believes they're more intelligent than they actually are, okay? And if you are a smart person and you believe that you're smarter than you actually are, then that brings down your intelligence, okay? That's just the way I see it. I think this dude is one of these guys that is dumber than he actually is because he believes that he's smarter than he actually is. Again, this guy says that Rick Caruso was the wrong choice, okay? Karen Bass was a better choice. Yeah, that's not a statement that would come from an intelligent individual. Even if you believe that, you should have enough intelligence to know that, hey, maybe I shouldn't say this on national television, especially considering the current circumstances.
In the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Black casino workers to have a prominent, refused to rent to Black people in the 1990s.
Have enough intelligence to know.
If you look at
national television, especially considering the current circumstances and what's happening in LA.
It's also a dishonor to the Black community. Yeah. I mean, if you look at Donald Trump, the man who would refuse to rent to Black people in the 1970s, who tried to lead a lynch mob against 5 Black and brown kids in the 1980s for the Central Park case, who refused to allow Black casino workers to have a prominent place in his casinos in Atlantic City in the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Barack Obama's birth certificate in the 2000s, who came in office and then attacked Black people like Colin Kaepernick, who attacked Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers.
And despite all that fear mongering about Trump being a racist, he's so bad for Black people, right? When you look at the actual results from his administration, Black people benefited very heavily. Okay, it doesn't seem like Trump's racism actually had a material effect on the lives of Black people in a negative way. In fact, it actually impacted Black folks positively. Like, for example, during his first administration, the Black unemployment rate, 5.4%, the lowest on record at the time. Labor force participation rate went up. Median household incomes grew 7.9% in 2018. Had wage growth increase for black workers, particularly among the lower income brackets. So the poor, the black poor, were doing better under Trump. Poverty rate hit a historic low in 2019 at 18.8%. Wealth, black home ownership from 2016, it was at 41.7% to 2020, 44.1%. So black people during Trump's first administration, the wealth was increasing. Poverty was hitting an all-time low. More jobs than ever. Incomes were rising, but yet we're supposed to care about some allegations of racism back in the 80s and the 90s? Like, come on. Come on. These people are not serious. They're not serious.
Honor those people. When you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor black people. And just last year, he was calling Haitian immigrants, accusing them of eating cats and dogs. This is not somebody that black people should be associated with and pretending to normalize. We should be challenging him, and it dishonors the.
Apparently they were making reports that people were doing that. So I'm not sure why they keep acting like that's just some outrageous rumor when it's not.
Legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we honor on Monday to celebrate this man.
Wow.
Snoop.
Wow.
And then they keep talking about Martin Luther King Day being on the 20th. Isn't the inauguration always on January 20th? It's always been on this weekend. I don't understand the outrage. Now all of a sudden y'all care about Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and Martin Luther King's holiday? Because when y'all start caring about it? The fuck?
Out. Right. Full-blown meltdown. Full-blown meltdown. See, again, this is what I try to tell you guys. This is the difference between
let him finish.
Conservatives and liberals, right? Black conservatives, black liberals. Okay. Black liberals pretend as if they're looking out for black folks, right? That the number one thing is black people. Okay.
Right.
But it's not. The number one thing is the Democrats, right? It's the Democrats. Because if you're a black liberal, you got to be honest. Black people benefited heavily under Trump. Okay. They benefited very heavily. He did a lot of things that disproportionately benefited black folks. Opportunity zones.
So yeah. All right, y'all. Hold up.
And, when you hear him say these things about we're going to get stuff done and we're going to do a lot of things, that's not hyperbole. This is an administration who knows exactly how much time they have left, and it starts at noon today.
It's a lofty agenda. You want to hit the ground running. But there's also, Tom, as you've referenced multiple times, the wheels have been in motion for this for a long time. And this is quite a difference from 8 years ago, where, quite honestly, the people that were coming into that administration really didn't know what they were doing, Tom. They didn't know what they were in for. They kind of figured it out as they went in some cases. And I know I'm oversimplifying that. But what can we expect this time, knowing with them knowing now what this office entails?
Yeah, in large part, that's one question that hangs over just about every new administration, Steve, in that, you look at the team that Donald Trump has assembled here. Susie Wiles is going to be the chief of staff. Yes, she's a well-known, Republican political hand. Largely, though, her, experience has been in Florida. So how is this new administration going to deal with these, entrenched power bases in both the House and the Senate? Now, clearly, House Speaker Mike Johnson has aligned himself very tightly. So has the Senate Majority Leader John Thune. But already, we have seen a little more independence out of some Senate Republicans early on than we have seen in the House. That's a relationship we're going to watch.
So what happened was that instead of them having the normal inauguration day parade, I think due to the weather, like the temperatures, it's like 23 degrees right now in DC. So it's really, really cold. So I guess they just decided to move it over into Capital One Arena. And, you know, when he takes his oath over and on the Capitol, he'll then go over to Capital One Arena and he'll greet everyone there. From my understanding, I'm not sure how the parade situation is going to work, if they're just going to kind of have the bands come in there or how that's going to really
You
work.
can imagine that very quickly after this decision, it was already going to have a large role to begin with because they had that rally last night. But clearly the president-elect enjoys time with his followers. He's going to get more of it today.
You led me right into our next segment. Thank you so much, as Governor Kristi Noem making her way inside, as well as Kelly Loeffler out of Georgia. I want to get to Jacqueline Matter. She's actually live at Capital One Arena, and I just took a sneak peek here, Jacqueline. I see that people have made their.
We ain't gonna do too much of listening to this commentary, but we will, you know, because there is something else I want to play too. But I will just play that feed a little bit so y'all can kind of see what's going on and, you know, what they're in the process of doing in terms of, you know, preparing for these events. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys. I hope you're liking the video. Please donate to the channel if you can. Subscribe. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's all appreciated. Okay, that's not the one I was looking for. Crap. Is that the raw feed? Yeah, that's the raw footage right there. Yeah. Because they say he ain't supposed to come on till about 12. Oh, did I miss it? Let's see.
More disappointed in the selection committee for not picking Alabama for the college football playoff finals, and instead picking inferior teams like SMU and Indiana. Truly dark times in America.
Okay, Graham there. We've got pictures of more of the president's hopeful cabinet. You heard John McArdle say that Marco Rubio expected a vote on his becoming Secretary of State expected today. Others to follow as well when the president hopefully will get members of his cabinet appointed by the Senate or confirmed by the Senate. Sonia in California, independent line. Hi.
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to remind everyone how we spend our time, you know, what we're watching on the television or what we're spending our money on is just as much of a message sender as any screaming can be. You know, if corporations are going to be running us right now, we can choose to buy local, to pay attention to our local artists or our local farmers, buying less from Amazon, you know, paying less attention to Donald Trump on the YouTubes and the views. How we spend our time, period, can send a big message. And I just wanted to remind people that when it feels a little like you don't know what to do, just pay attention to where you're spending your money and spending your time.
Avant from Baltimore, Maryland, Republican line.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. I just want to say it's a lot of Democrats that need to put their hands behind their back. And it was a lot during the elections. Sobriety tests should have been done. There's a lot of hands behind their back action. Hey, I support Trump. I support the trucking industry. I am a trucker, and I would like to see the economy just shoot right back up, man. And shout out to the inauguration today, and hopefully everything goes well. Everything will go well, and let's get this economy back. Let's get that border built, and let's go. Let's go, America. Let's go.
From a viewer in San Diego, California, former Vice President Mike Pence making his way to the Capitol Rotunda. Again, once serving with the former president. Let's see a little bit of this.
Just trying to catch her eye.
It was a quick shot of Mike Pence making his way into the Capitol building there, others making their way too. This is from San Diego, Democrats line. This is Rain. Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to say, I noticed a lot of people are talking about different policies, and especially during the Trump administration and a lot of his advertisements, he was exclusively very anti-trans. And I noticed a lot of people put their 2 cents in on this problem, but haven't actually had experience with transgender people or, for the most, even met one. And as a transgender person, I think it is incredibly upsetting that we are used as an example and used as a device to get people to be scared of us when we're really just other people trying to live. And I'm just hopeful that certain choices don't make our lives a lot harder. And, you know, I'm hopeful that Trump does okay, but again, I cannot support him for how much he hurts others around me and just how he destroys a lot.
Elon Musk in that group that you're seeing right now, Jeff Bezos in that group as well. This is from Daniel. Daniel in Silver Spring, Maryland, independent line.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. To say Donald Trump is a remarkable person. He incites people to violence and then gets everyone believing that he believes in peace. He promises to unleash hell and gets everyone believing that he believes in peace. He has zero respect for the work of Congress or the presidential office and gets everyone hoping that there will be peace. He makes all of his money off the backs of low-income workers and then gets everyone believing that he put together a working-class coalition. I just have to say, I do hope there'll be a peaceful day, and good luck to you all.
Mark Zuckerberg in that group as well, I believe, his back toward us. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in the background, hoping to become the next head of Health and Human Services. This is John in Oregon, Republican line on this inauguration day. Go ahead.
How you doing? I just want to say, Martin Luther King, you know, judge people not on the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And the content of Joe
So
Biden's
first of
character,
all, hold up,
pardoning
y'all.
Fauci.
Hold up, y'all. Let me go to this. Is that the right one?
Madison Square Garden. I got to thank God for allowing me to speak in front of you today. I got to tell you something else. God is great. Can I get a second? I got to tell you another secret, though. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, I wouldn't be standing here today. So I want to thank President Donald Trump for allowing me to stand in front of you here today. It's a bigger story. I'll let you know about it. God spoke to his heart, and Donald Trump signed with his heart my release after 33 years. God spoke to his heart. So I don't have but a few minutes, so I want to say what I got to say. First thing I want to do is speak to this elephant in the room. Our nation has had a complex history with racism and sexism. And we can all agree that we got to do a little work there. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about is our similarities that unite us. We want to talk about family security. It's important. We want to talk about economic development. It's essential. We want to talk about education for our children. It matters. It matters. For example, Kamala Harris talks about an opportunity agenda for black men, but there is no opportunity unless you have the foundation that starts with a strong education. And we cannot allow our children's zip code to dictate the opportunities for our children's future.
Now, trying to think if this is the same guy that Snoop Dogg got the pardon for. Because I think so. It is swearing in about to happen in a little bit, y'all. So I'm going to go back when they start to swear him in. But I think this is the same guy.
School choice is like the First Amendment of opportunity agenda. The rest of the Constitution can't work if you don't have the right enshrined in the First Amendment. That is why we created Community First, to promote economic self-sufficiency, to increase access to capital, to expand educational opportunities. And in order to do this, we need a commander-in-chief that has the ability to bridge the gap with government, business, private sector, and our communities.
Yep.
Maybe I didn't mention, I'm the founder of Community First. President Donald Trump has committed to working with Community First when he's back in office. And in case you didn't know, Community First is you, and people that look like me. So Community First endorses Donald J. Trump to be the 47th president of these United States of America. Opportunity and dignity for all. That's what we get with Donald Trump. The president of the United States. we know that's what he's gonna be. So I don't act like I'm not the only one that know that, right? I think the world needs to hear us say, we want a real commander-in-chief in office to represent all of our communities. I love you, and thank you.
All right. All right, let's see here.
Fascinating to watch, and as just a moment ago, we talked about the legal implications that are ahead of this presidency. Here we have the United States Supreme Court members coming into the Capitol. Now, in large part, this is a rare sight that you're looking at right now, because over the last couple of years, Supreme Court justices, which all of them used to be regular fixtures at State of the Union speeches, decided individually whether or not they were going to start to attend State of the Union messages. So you got into a period over the last decade where you were seeing groups of Supreme Court justices, but you were not seeing the entire court the way you are seeing them right now. So, you know, history on many levels today, actually having the entire United States government under one roof is one element of that history we're witnessing today.
About an hour ago that we will witness a different.
That's a great question. I don't know. You know what? Because they only intentionally put certain parts of the speech in history books. because what he was really trying to go after was that coin, okay? When he realized that all he did was fight to pretty much make sure we could sit at the same restaurant seat as somebody else. I don't understand why people was pressed to go and eat from those folks or eat them folks cooking. They don't cook better than us, respectfully. You know, I don't know what that tea was there, you know, but carry on. I think that it was just more so about being able to have that option and be able to do it yourself and not need permission. Hold up, because they got all of this for everybody else. That is insane, y'all. Okay, I look like they're getting ready to set it up. I hope y'all doing good. Look like they ready to set it on up. They said about 11:30 though. I mean, y'all, when I went outside today, I ain't gonna hold y'all. The streets was naked. It was nobody outside. Have you guys ever heard of the Dictionary of Races or Peoples? Yeah, I'm gonna probably pull this up in a little bit so y'all can see it and how they have pretty much defined all these different types of races. Now, I also ended up pulling up an article. Is he coming out yet? Nah. I'm also pulling up an article too where they were making claims that African American was used in 17 something and then again in like 1800. So y'all telling me y'all found it's something that says African American in the 1700s, and then the next time y'all was able to find something was saying African American 100 years later. Like, you just can't trust these folks. Yeah, let me show y'all this. Hold up. Let me pull it up real quick while we waiting on things to pop up over there, just so y'all can see what I'm looking at and all of the disingenuousness that has been done just to erase. So this came out in 1911. So mind y'all, in the 19th, I mean not the 19th. Yeah, the 19th century, the 1900s or whatever. These motherfuckers were literally on this African rampage. Literally, hold up, y'all. Let me pull it up real quick. And then I want to show y'all that book too. I said I was going to wait and read it on another day, but I might just go ahead and, you know, pull it out a little bit earlier. All right. I'm going to just keep y'all posted when Donald Trump pull up, and then I'll just play it back again. I'm just trying to keep an eye on it so I can make sure I don't miss it. So this is, if y'all can see it, I hope y'all can. The Dictionary Reports of the Immigration Commission. So it says Dictionary of Races or Peoples. So hold on. So this is the Immigration Commission. All of these folks here: Senator William T. Dillingham, P. Senator Henry Carbo Lodge, Senator Asbury C. Latimer, and Slim J. McLaurin, Senator Leroy Percy, Representative Benjamin J. Howe, Representative William S. Bennett, Representative John L. Burnett, Mr. Charles P. Neal, Mr. Jeremiah W. Jinks, Mr. William R. Wheeler. Okay. So I just want y'all to have a good look at this. So these are all the reports that they have made over the years to try to track, I'm guessing, all immigrants and other folks as well. Okay. To the 61st Congress, I have the honor to transmit herewith on behalf of the Immigration Committee a report entitled Dictionary of Races or People, which was prepared for the commission by Dr. Daniel L. Folkmar, assisted by Dr. Elnora C. Folkmar, respectfully. All right. Since Eastern Europe became an important source of immigration, many new ethnical factors have been added to the population of the United States. Early in the Commission's investigations among these newer immigrants, it became apparent that the true racial status of many of them was imperfectly understood, even in the communities where they were most numerous, and the difficulties encountered in properly classifying the many ethnical names that were employed to designate various races of people suggested the preparation of a volume that will promote a better knowledge of the numerous elements included in the present immigrant movement. While this quote dictionary treats of more than 600 subjects covering all the important and many of the obscure branches or divisions of the human family, it is intended primarily as a discussion of the various races and people indigenous to the countries furnishing the present immigration movement to the United States, or which may become sources of future immigration. Until 1899, when the Bureau of Immigration first classified arriving immigrants according to the race or people to which they belonged, practically all population statistics respecting the foreign-born in the United States were recorded only by country of birth. Previous to the adoption of improved method of recording immigration statistics, the Bureau of the Census had attempted in some instances to distinguish among the various East European peoples in the population, and as a result of this effort, report of recent censuses included more or less accurate data relative to the Polish and Bohemian elements in the population. In the first mentioned case, the grouping is accomplished by regarding for census purposes for the former Kingdom of Poland as a geographical entity instead of provinces of Austria, Prussia, and Russia, as Poland has been politically for more than a century. In the same way, Bohemia is considered as a geographical unit instead of a part of Austria. With these exceptions, however, census reports makes no distinction between the many important ethnical factors to be found among natives of Eastern European countries resident in the United States. So even in 1911, it's obvious that they were having issues pinpointing who people were. Obvious. Oh, look at this. Ugg just walked in there. Look at her. I think this whole thing surrounding race and stuff is something that even has plagued the people who write these things because they don't even know what's going on. So it says Poland and Bohemia also appear as countries of birth in earlier immigration statistics, but when the movement of population from Austria-Hungary, Russia, Turkey, and the Balkan states to the United States assumed large proportions, the old method of recording arrivals only by country of their nativity was of little in determining was of little value in determining the ethnical status of such immigrants, and the Bureau of Immigration finally adopted the racial classification. The Bureau recognizes 45 races or people among immigrants coming to the United States, and of these, 36 are indigenous to Europe. This classification was adopted by Immigration Commission in collecting and compiling data respecting the foreign-born in this country, and it is also made the principal basis of the Dictionary of Races or Peoples. No work of this nature has been before published in the English language, although related works have been printed in the French, German, and other languages. Oh, I think Trump about to come out. I'll get back to reading this, y'all, because I want to read this to y'all, because then maybe we all can get a better understanding of why shit be going down and why they've labeled us the way they have. They've been labeling people for a long time. All right, I think Trump about to come on out. Oh, I know that. I heard they was cousins. They said all the presidents related. Oh, I thought Trump was about to come out. All right, so anyway, I thought Trump was about to come the way they had that thing sliced up. Oh, all right, that's the vice president. Hey, can y'all believe how tall that boy got? Trump's son? That boy tall as hell. Hey, not a coincidence. I know you put my so look. Because, you know, I think that before I show the rest of Trump coming through, I think that, you know, a gap that it's a gap, you know what I mean, between like us and, you know, the other pro-black groups, right? And okay, so anyway, and I just think that it's time for us to try to, you know, build some bridges instead of continuously trying to break them, right? And I always feel like it's okay we all don't have the same opinion and we all don't agree on everything, you know what I'm saying? But I think that we do have to mature. So look for that comment and get back at me. Not a coincidence. All right, what's going on? That's that's his son right there. That's Donald Trump Jr. Out here getting his mans too. I ain't gonna even lie. Ivanka is pumping, honey. Ivanka is giving me Christmas tree Hunter Green realness with a side of Jackie Onassis, okay? Look at his little ass over there. Yeah, but to me, Ivanka is eating it up, honey. And that's my girl behind her too. I like Laura Trump. Like, I didn't have a problem with her. She's really an intelligent lady. We're gonna watch that interview. What happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting
Hold
Dr.
up, they
Biden
cut me
and
off.
Mr. Emhoff, the Republican staff director of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inauguration.
Oh, I know they ain't cut me off. Oh, okay. I thought they cut me off, family. I was like, hold up. I know I ain't doing nothing wrong. Shit.
Ceremonies, Ms. Emma Fisher.
Hey, this is election coverage, smoke signal. I already cooked Snoop Dogg. You missed that part.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jill Biden and Mr. Douglas Emhoff.
I know they ain't cut my fucking thing again. I know they ain't cut my stream. Come on, YouTube. I don't got time for this. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if y'all still can see. Y'all can still hear me. Nope, y'all can't. Oh my God, YouTube. Pissing me off.